Hey there, Giselle Carson here, and welcome to our June immigration updates. In this updates, I'm going to be focusing primarily on two new developments from the business immigration front that are going to help employers and HR leaders and their foreign nationals stay informed and prepare. The first one, you probably have heard about it already, and I also sent an update last week on the new USCIS guidance saying that adjudicators should evaluate adjustment of status filing under the eye of that application being a discretionary relief. And the second one is something that just happened yesterday. The Department of State announced that the EB2 category for Indian nationals has reached its limits for the visa availability for this year, meaning that we won't be able to file adjustment of status or consular processing for EB2 India for the remainder of this fiscal year, meaning that the visa bulletin will open again for that category at the beginning of the fiscal year, which is October of 2026. So those are the two main things that I want you to be aware of. And then I'm going to walk you through how we're going to be connecting these updates with the resources, the content, the information that we're going to be providing you for the rest of this month, where I will be talking about student visas, H-1B status, and also what does that mean for the new policy on adjustment of status, green card timing, and practical employment authorization documents guidance for HR professionals. That's going to be our resource of the month. So, main thing I believe to remember is that immigration right now, business immigration, is no longer just about eligibility. There is a lot more that is going to go into it. It's about timing. Literally just before I started recording this, I responded to an email from a foreign national that has an I-140 approved. The foreign national, their employer. The I-140 was just approved in May, and now he is their priority date is current, so we could be filing for an adjustment of a status. And they asked, various questions about the adjustment of status and the new guidance. And my response, so they wanted to know, should we file now? And I said no. That gets me back to what I was starting to say, that it is more about eligibility. So we have to look beyond that. So this foreign national is eligible and ready, but it's beyond that. Timing is going to be a significant factor going forward, and it has been over the last few years under this administration. Timing, knowledge, documentation, and readiness. So again, business immigration, corporate immigration is certainly much more than being eligible. We have to be very careful with the timing, the knowledge, the documentation that is presented, and the readiness. So what does all this means for all of you? So as to adjustment of a status, and let me back up and clarify, adjustment of a status is a benefit that has allowed many foreign nationals for years, decades, to adjust status in the United States instead of going to their home country. Basically, they're in the United States in H1 for a majority of our clients. It could be an H1, L1, TN, any of those work visa categories. And then we file a petition for adjustment of status. Obviously, they also have to have an I-140 that has been approved or pending in the priority date being current. So the government now has said that this is a discretionary benefit. Again, many questions remain unanswered as to this. And I will continue to provide guidance as we move forward. So something else to remember, the guidance does not eliminate adjustment of status. And I am pretty certain that we will continue to file adjustments of status on the years to come and the months to come. But again, we are going to be very mindful of the timing of what we understand about the process, the practical aspects of this, which many times you don't understand or know by just reading the news. It is really what is happening in the field. And as an attorney and our paralegals are constantly reviewing and being updated as to what is actually happening in the field so that we can best guide you. So again, adjustment of status has not gone away. It continues to be most likely the most efficient, even for the government, even though they're not going to say so, way to help foreign nationals adjust status in the United States. So the process is still here. What is going to happen is now we have a more restrictive tone to the process. And this is very consistent to what we have seen during this administration. So USCIS is emphasizing that this is adjustment of status is not an automatic, it's not automatic. Even when the applicant meets the eligibility requirements, and the officers are being reminded by USCIS to look at the full picture before they exercise their favorable discretion, meaning approving the adjustment of status. The reminder, I think, for employers and for foreign nationals is that adjustment of status is not just a process, a documentary process where we're just filing documents and filling out forms, but it is going to involve a review, and it's something that we have been doing all along, a review of the immigration history of the foreign national, certainly the current status and how that is being evaluated by the government, the travel choices, and much more. The practical advice is not to panic, but to step back, evaluate, and continue to be proactively aware of the trends. And again, the second update was the EB to India, which I mentioned at the during the introductory piece, that the priority date has the limit of the ability to file has been reached. So EB to India will be closed and not available for filing. So practical steps going forward, stay alert to the adjustment of status developments. Again, I will continue to provide answers to the many unanswered questions as we learn more. And another piece of adjustment of status, again, will be tightening the record, meaning evaluating the evidence. In many of our cases, likely we will be providing discretionary positive evidence to elevate the case, but we are also going to expect that we're going to see more RFEs, requests for additional evidence, as those cases are being filed. So with that said, as you probably know, our team puts out every month resources every Wednesday. So this is what is up for the month of June. The first Q&A, which is going to be next Wednesday, I am going to be focusing on adjustment of status questions. So these are questions that I have received and I basically collect them as I receive them. And I do this every month. And then compile the ones that I feel are going to be of must benefit for our listeners. So I will be talking about adjustment of status questions and what we know next Wednesday. So I don't know exactly what day that is, but put it on your calendars to be on the lookout for the recording of the Q&A that comes out next Wednesday. Then the following Wednesday is the newsletter. And in our newsletter, I am going to be focusing on another set of new rules. And those are rules that are likely to pass. Now, the adjustment of status news has taken the forefront of the news that we have been hearing, but they are also upcoming status changes to student visas that may make sponsorship and employment authorization documents for students more difficult. And I had talked also about the changes to prevailing wage determination for H-1B workers. So again, be in the lookout for the newsletter that is going to come on the third Wednesday of the month, which the title, New Rules That Could Make a Student Visas and H-1B Sponsorship Harder. But we can plan ahead, and that is what the topic is for the newsletter. And last but not least, the last Wednesday of the month, I am going to be providing you with another resource of the month. These are very practical visual tools that we provide to you all to understand or help understand the immigration process. This one is called EADs at Work, What HR Needs to Know. And basically what we're going to take is, I have taken an employment authorization document and provided some key information on that document and relating to that document that is important for HR. As you see employment authorization documents on various categories and various varieties, and it's very difficult sometimes to understand exactly what you need to look at or what you're looking at. So be on the lookout for that. And here is the business point that I also want to make. I know immigration can be and is getting more complex, more confusing, more frustrating, but it's a process that will not go away. Again, the foreign talent that is coming to this country is absolutely necessary. And other data is that in selected AI-related fields, international students make up approximately 70% of the full-time graduates. So 70% of the full-time graduates in AI-related fields in our universities are foreign nationals. Those foreign nationals become our current and future workforce. So it is impossible to completely close the doors to talent and skilled immigration to the United States. And as I always tell the listeners, we live in this country because we have a voice, and we need to use our voices to let our elected officials and our current administration that skilled talent is needed in the United States to continue to fuel our workforce and our economy. So all of this, it is a talent issue. It is a retention issue. It is also a competitive issue. We rely on our workers to fuel our economy. Again, kind of circling back to what I started, the message this month for all of us and for myself as I prepare these cases is that there are various factors that we need to be very aware of: timing, knowledge, documentation, and readiness to file our cases. So be on the lookout for the resources that are going to be coming your way. And as always, thank you for watching. Thank you for your trust. And I look forward to continuing to provide you with the updates so that I can try to make immigration less complex and more manageable for all of you. Take care. Talk to you soon.